Today we're diving into the concept of synoptic assessment, a term that's gaining traction in educational circles, especially in the UK. Synoptic assessment is all about evaluating students' understanding of the connections between different elements of a subject. Unlike traditional assessments that often focus on isolated knowledge, synoptic assessment encourages a holistic grasp of the curriculum. This approach not only supports deeper learning but also helps students see the bigger picture, making their education more meaningful and interconnected. Let's explore what makes synoptic assessment unique and why it's becoming increasingly important in both academic and vocational education. High-stakes assessments have often been criticized for narrowing the curriculum and promoting a teach-to-the-test mentality. However, when designed thoughtfully, assessments can actually enhance teaching and learning. Synoptic assessment is a prime example of this positive potential. By requiring students to draw connections across different parts of a subject, synoptic assessment fosters a more holistic and integrated approach to education. This not only deepens understanding but also prepares students to apply their knowledge in real-world contexts, making learning more relevant and impactful. The term synoptic assessment entered the UK educational discourse in the late 1990s, becoming a formal requirement for many qualifications. In England, examination boards must demonstrate how their assessments support synoptic learning, especially for Level 2 and Level 3 qualifications like GCSEs and A-levels. This policy shift was partly a response to concerns that modular qualifications were fragmenting knowledge, making it harder for students to see the subject as a coherent whole. By embedding synoptic assessment, policymakers aim to ensure that students develop a comprehensive understanding of their subjects. So, what exactly is synoptic assessment? According to the Qualifications and Curriculum Authority, it's an assessment that tests candidates' understanding of the connections between different elements of a subject. This means students aren't just memorizing facts, they're expected to integrate knowledge, skills, and concepts from across the syllabus. Synoptic assessment is now a requirement for many academic and vocational courses in England, ensuring that students are evaluated on their ability to think broadly and make meaningful links within their field of study. Synoptic learning is closely related to the broader concept of integrative learning. While integrative learning refers to synthesizing thoughts, actions, and experiences across contexts, synoptic learning focuses specifically on drawing connections within a single discipline. This interdisciplinary approach is vital because it helps students see how different parts of a subject fit together, rather than viewing them as isolated topics. By emphasizing these internal links, synoptic assessment ensures that students develop a deep, coherent understanding of their subject area. Integrative learning can occur through various pathways: interdisciplinarity, and intercontextuality. Synoptic assessment primarily supports interdisciplinary learning where students connect ideas within a single subject. This is distinct from interdisciplinary learning, which bridges multiple subjects, or intercontextuality, which applies knowledge across different real-world contexts. By focusing on interdisciplinarity, synoptic assessment fills a gap left by the broader and sometimes diluted concept of integrative learning. Key framework for understanding synoptic assessment comes from Deering's 1996 review, which identified 6 structural approaches. These range from embedding synoptic elements in all modules to having a dedicated synoptic module or a final synoptic exam. While this typology highlights the diversity of possible configurations, it mainly serves as a classification system. It doesn't fully address how these structures relate to different subjects or course types, pointing to the need for more interpretative frameworks. Recent research has identified 3 main models of synoptic assessment: global synopticity, local synopticity, and hybrid synopticity. Global synopticity means synoptic assessment is present throughout the entire qualification, either because of the subject's nature or its design. Local synopticity means it's only present in certain components, which can be loosely or strictly sequenced. Hybrid synopticity combines both, embedding local synoptic elements within a global framework. These models help educators design courses that foster holistic understanding. Global synopticity can be intrinsic or extrinsic. Intrinsic global synopticity occurs when the subject itself naturally integrates concepts, as seen in a level English language or mathematics. Extrinsic global synopticity is built into the course design, such as through storylines or integrated tasks, like in a level chemistry B. In both cases, synoptic assessment is woven throughout the qualification, ensuring students are constantly making connections across the curriculum. Local synopticity appears when synoptic assessment is only present in certain parts of a qualification. There are weak and strong forms. In the weak form, components are loosely connected, as in GCSE Geography A, where only one component is synoptic. In the strong form, components are strictly sequenced and build on each other, as seen in a level computer science or vocational qualifications. This structure ensures that knowledge from earlier units is essential for success in later ones. Hybrid synopticity combines global and local approaches. For example, a level chemistry A features synoptic assessment in both specific modules and across the entire qualification. Some modules are explicitly synoptic, while all assessment components draw on content from multiple modules. This layered approach ensures students are challenged to make connections at both the module and course level, deepening their understanding and integration of knowledge. Interestingly, academic and vocational qualifications often use different models of synoptic assessment. Academic courses may use global, local, or hybrid models, while vocational courses tend to favor the strong form of local synopticity. This is because vocational education emphasizes the application of knowledge and skills, requiring students to integrate and apply what they've learned in practical, real-world contexts. The structure of synoptic assessment is thus tailored to the goals of each type of qualification. Implement synoptic assessment. Educators use a toolkit of strategies. These include practical tasks, storylines, extended response questions, and linearity. Practical tasks encourage students to draw on knowledge from across the syllabus. Storylines provide context and help integrate concepts. Extended response questions, like essays, require synthesis of ideas. Linearity, where all components are assessed at the end, ensures students retain and connect knowledge throughout the course. Synoptic assessment offers several key benefits. It foregrounds interdisciplinary learning, helping students see the subject as a coherent whole. This approach encourages teachers to deliver the curriculum in a more integrated way, supporting deeper and more meaningful learning. By making connections explicit, synoptic assessment prepares students for complex problem-solving and lifelong learning, skills that are increasingly valued in today's world. While the framework for synoptic assessment is still evolving, it represents a significant step forward in educational assessment. Further research is needed to refine these models and explore their impact on different student groups. As synoptic assessment becomes more mainstream, it has the potential to transform how we teach, learn, and evaluate knowledge, making education more holistic, relevant, and effective for all learners.